welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we're reacting to Kacey Musgraves' new album, Deeper Well. But before we hop in the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you love all things music, particularly Kacey Musgraves. First off, I'm going to address the fact that Girly has new hair. My friend Haley has commented on the fact that I kind of look like a Spice Girl, but does seem to be that way. But on to what we're actually going to do today. We are reacting to Kacey Musgraves' new album, Deeper Well. I have already listened to the two singles that have been out, Deeper Well and Too Good to Be True, so we will not be reacting to those in this video today. So that leaves us with 12 songs to react to. Yeah, because it's a 14-track album. And in terms of like titles that have me intrigued, want Jade Green, The Architect, Lonely Millionaire, Anime Eyes. Ooh, all of these all have me intrigued, particularly The Architect. I don't know what that will be about. I will preface this by saying I enjoy Kacey's work, but I think I'm definitely feel more of like a casual listener of her work. And while I liked her last album, it was a little more somber and slower for my taste, so keep that in mind when I'm reacting to these tracks. If any major Kacey Musgraves stans are out there, I am sorry if I am not as hype as you are for this album. But I'm definitely interested to see where it takes us, because Deeper Well had me feeling some things when I listened to it. But like with all reactions, things will likely be sped up or blurred out due to copyright, and let's jump into track 1, Cardinal.
I saw a sign or an omen on the branches in the morning. It was right after I lost a friend without warning. Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal, are you telling me I'm on somebody's mind? Don't leave me behind.
First off, the sound was not quite what I was expecting, just based off of the last album, but I mean, Justified is one of my favorites on that album. I'm sorry, but you had to hit with the emotion straight out the gate. So Cardinal is referring to a bird, Let's see, it was right after I lost a friend without warning. Okay, so she did physically lose someone. A cardinal is a symbol that usually evokes emotional and spiritual feelings. Some say the vibrant red bird is an uplifting, happy symbol or a symbol of past loved ones. Okay. And then, are you bringing a message from the other side? Are you, appearing as a messenger from the other side, the people who've died? So this one looks like it's going to be about people we loved who we have lost. I am not emotionally prepared. Have I properly dealt with my grief from the past few years? Probably not.
Are you just watching and waiting for spring? Do you have some kind of magic to bring? Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal.
Okay, so I feel like these lyrics were pretty straightforward. I mean, we're using the symbol of the cardinal to represent someone who is lost, who you are kind of seeking out, their memory from. And then in the bridge, he says, are you just watching and waiting for spring, or do you have some kind of magic to bring? Like, are you just a bird existing and waiting around for the season to change? Are you bringing some sort of magic or some piece of this person I lost back to me? And, it had those ad-libs of Pretty Bird. Why wait? Why are you waiting for spring? Like, you have to be here for some reason. This was so beautiful. Everything so far has been pretty beautiful in terms of just like the sound and then the lyricism. It's a little more straightforward with the symbolism and the lyricism that we do have. So I'm curious to see, because after this we have Deeper Well, which is her finding a deeper well, or, a deeper reserve of emotion and strength to dig into. And then we have Too Good to Be True. I can't remember too much about this. I will go back and listen to it after reacting to this. But up next, we're reacting to Moving Out.
Four walls and so much space. It was way more than just a place, wasn't it, babe? Yeah, we kept living in the house, planting roses all around, leaving it better than we found. Now autumn's moving. We're alone.
So in the Kelsey Ballerini interview with Call Her Daddy, or the second one, she was talking about how she purchased this house from Casey, and Casey had told her, like, this was my healing house. So I have a feeling this is the house that we're talking about. The house that she got post, divorce, post end of relationship, and the house that kind of, like, built her back up. We're making country song references. The house that built her back up and taught her how to love again, and how she kind of is at this point where she's like, I've done this healing, and now it's time to move on from this post-divorce place, or this house that had so many memories. Now it's time to move on. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking this is the house that we're talking about. Who is the boo that you moved on with, girly?
You always said it might be home, and I think you're right. A couple real big fights that we had. I cried, but it was hard staying.
We had a fairly long musical outro there, which y'all know I'm very particular about my outros on this channel, so you know what? It was cute. It was sweet. I'm definitely seeing that this is definitely going to be a very storytelling album moving on, because she's very straightforward with the pictures and images that she paints. Particularly, there's no bridge on this, but she's really putting a lot of information in the pre-chorus. So in verse 2, she's like, remember I still wore that dress the Christmas that we all got sick and parted way. I had a breakup and then I bought it. You always said it might be haunted, and I think you're right. So she's talking about, like, the time, everyone was sick, but we still had a great time anyways. And I wore this dress that I bought, this, like, kind of like a revenge dress sort of situation if it's post-breakup. And you said that it could be haunted and it's like that. It said a couple real big fights that we had. I cried, but it was hard to stay mad. We had good times, can't deny it. Even though I feel excited, I'm kind of sad we're leaving now that autumn's moving on. And then she has this whole imagery of, like, the spring. It's like the happy times, and, like the rejoicing after, you've gone through these hard times. And now autumn's moving in and, like, things are falling. So now it's like, it's like, the somber tones are setting in, is what I'm getting. I need to see what the next song is, and it's called Giver Taker, so interesting title. I'm curious to see where that translates.
Down and I'm lonely in this house. It's feeling one-dimensional to me. We've been trying hard to figure out give and take and how to be. But don't you see, and if I could take only as much as I needed, I would take everything you had.
So this is following a relationship. It seems like following that, if we're following a chronological order of things that have happened, things, are going on. She said she's sundown and I'm lonely in this house. It's feeling one-dimensional to me. We've been trying hard to figure out give and take and how to be, but don't you see? But I think the real information is here. I would give you everything that you wanted, and I would never ask for any of it back. And if I could take only as much as I needed, I would take everything you had. So it's like I'm giving, and I'm giving, and I'm giving, and I'm not receiving anything back. But if you were to, like, show up and, like, actually, give out into the universe and give back to me, I would take everything you had. I would take as much of you as I could possibly get in this situation. I feel like we've all kind of been in a situation like this. I'm imagining that these are the kind of songs that I'm, like, imagining being in a country bar, and it's just like the girl's up on the stage and she's strumming her guitar and everyone's just kind of grooving out. It's very mellow country. So I guess if that's, like, your vibe, this is definitely a good album for you.
Wrap me in your arms like I'm made of glass. I need all your love, not just one piece. Hoping that it ain't too much.
Okay, new context. Sunrise and you're lying next to me. Wrap me in your arms like I'm made of glass. So she's with this person and they're afraid to give or, like, engage with her because they think that she's very fragile. And it says, I need all your love, not just one piece, hoping that it ain't too much for me to ask. She's like, I won't break if you, like, show me all the sides, all the love. Like, if you give me everything, I'm not just going to fall apart. Like, I'm not as fragile as I think you think of me. Very, very, very interesting. I'm wondering to see where the bridge takes us in this story.
Don't wanna share, I want it all of the time. Tell me right now you feel the same, and that you're gone. Baby,
So moral of the story is there needs to be a give and take within this relationship. I'm not that fragile. We can like work things out. She says, don't want to share. I want it all of the time. Tell me right now you feel the same and that you're mine. She's like, we need to give and take. Please tell me that you're on the same page as me. Like I said, very straightforward album and storytelling going on here. But up next is a track called Sway.
When the wind blows, I push you around again, shake you. Maybe you can show me. Seems like you know how. Don't let it phase you. Maybe one day I'll learn how to sway.
This one sonically, a little guitar plucking, it sounds like horse hooves clomping in the background, at least the beat that's going on in the background. This one to me sounds like they're admiring someone who's in their life who has the ability to kind of adapt and change wherever the wind blows. And she says, maybe one day I'll learn how to sway with the wind. She's like, I won't necessarily get blown away and knocked over by the changes in my life. I'll learn how to like go with the flow as much as I see that you did. It especially says, if I didn't want to take control, I could let go. She's like a girly who's like me, who's like, I need control in my life. I definitely relate to this one. This one conceptually definitely has me in the lyrics somewhere.
Like a palm tree in the wind, I won't break, I'll just bend and I'll sway. I'll sway.
This one has to be one of my favorites so far. This one is definitely addressing the people with anxiety, aka me. Most of the time, all the thoughts in my mind keep running. Show me a place where I can just think of nothing. If I surrender, if I let go, will you hold me? She is like, if in this relationship, if I was able to let go, would you be able to like hold my anxiety? The whole thought of like being in a relationship with someone who has those mental health issues. And then she changes the chorus to have, maybe one day I'll learn how to sway like a palm tree in the wind. I won't break, I'll just bend. She's like, I can roll with the punches, I can adapt, I can change. And then it's an and I'll sway, I'll sway. Very beautiful. And then that outro, I don't know what those harmonies were, but I loved them. Great choice. I'm a sucker for a great outro. Then up next, we're hitting the midpoint of the album with Dinner with Friends.
Dinner with friends in cities where none of us live. Face somebody makes when you give them a gift. My home state of Texas, the sky there, the horses and dogs, but none of their loves.
Well, girly said something there. So she's kind of describing things that give you feelings. So dinner with friends in cities where none of us live. The face that somebody makes when you give them a gift. Every once in a while when I wake up early without trying and catch a sunrise. So I have a feeling it's either going to describe a sense of euphoria or a sense of love. But it's interesting structurally because we have verse 1, then we go directly into verse 2, which says, the feeling you feel when you're looking at something you made, the layers and ruffles in my favorite pink champagne cake. My home state of Texas, the sky there, the horses and the dogs, but none of their laws. Yes, girlie, none of the Texas laws. We can agree on that. I love that she put that in there because we needed clarification. We needed we needed, things there. But yeah, she's like, I'm going to assume this is the things that, bring people joy and happiness. And that's what she's describing here. Metaphors and things that bring you happiness.
Shape of things I would miss from the other side.
Things that I would miss from the other side. We're throwing it back to Cardinal, but girly girl, we're talking death at a very young age here. But in the chorus, she's talking about all the things about their partner or her partner that she would miss and that just evoke this feeling of happiness and like love. So yeah, it's cute. I'm curious to see where we continue, if it's just gonna be straight just like things that evoke happiness, or if there's gonna be some flips and switches here.
The shape of his heart, my shoes by his door. He loves me in all of the ways that I've never felt that before.
So moral of this story is it's the little things that matter in a relationship. The little things that you do or you get to experience or that they do for you. that, makes you feel loved. Particularly in the chorus, she said, "He loves me in all of the ways that I've never felt before." I think that's a very cute sentiment. It's the quiet love. It's the little things. We're halfway through the album. So far, favorites are probably Cardinal and Sway, but we're moving into another string of like some shorter tracks, under 3-minute tracks, starting with Heart of the Woods. Are we getting a little cottagecore moment here?
Under the ground, there's a neighborhood that can't be seen, communicating through the roots of the trees.
So this one doesn't have a lot of lyrical content from what I can see on Genius. So let's go through verse 1. Under the ground, there's a neighborhood that can't be seen, communicating through the roots of the trees. And up in the trees, there are voices that are echoing a million different languages, songs we sing. So we're creating a fantastical universe here, or are we just talking about nature in general and respecting nature? So we're going to set up, because I'm curious to see where this chorus takes us. So there wasn't much to say on that one. It says, it's in our nature to look out for each other in the heart of the woods. When there's dangers, we'll take care of each other in the heart of the woods. She's like, in nature, we look out for each other. So when we're in the heart of the woods, like when we're out and about in the middle of nowhere, we're going to look out for each other. And that's pretty much all that is said after that. I don't know if this one feels like it's going to be a lower ranked song for me. But that's just because there's really not a whole lot lyrically going on there. It's a very short song. But up next is a track called Jade Green. Where are we going with this title? I'm so curious.
I wanna bathe in moonlight until I'm fully charged. Come into my power and heal the broken parts that I carry. Calm, cool, and protected, keeping me from harm. Jade.
Well, this one, I was not sure where we were going with this. We are invoking the powers of the crystals. I want to bathe in the moonlight until I'm fully charged. Come into my power and heal the broken parts that I carry. And then we have another verse 1 going straight into a verse 2 structure, which is definitely interesting. I haven't seen that in a while. Like the bracelet that you bought me, I want you on my arm, calm, cool, and protected, and keeping me from harm. So she's comparing the person that they are with, or that she is with, to a crystal, a protective crystal, jade green. Jade green, I always keep it on me, always keep it on me. To help me feel calm, cool, and protected instead of calm, cool, and collected. The sonics have me going, the instrumentals, loving it. Let's see where we go from here.
I can't help it, I get anxious every time we part. I say a little prayer to drive away the dark.
And once again, she's talking about her anxiety here in verse 3. I can't help it, I get anxious, and every time we part, I say a little prayer to drive away the dark. And I'm with you and you're with me like the bracelet that you gave me. She's like, I keep this bracelet around me, or keep this bracelet with me, the jade green, just to give me this sense of protection that I feel when I am with you. This one, up there. Top of the list so far, in the top 3 for me. But up next, we're moving into, let's see, another shorter track, The Architect. Where are we going with this title as well? Just very interesting titles this time around.
Even something as small as an apple, it's simple and somehow complex, sweet and divine, the perfect design. Can I speak to the architect?
Alright, so she's speaking to the beauty of the world and nature, and is like, can I speak to the architect of our world? Possibly God in this case, I would assume, given things. Architect, in the song, the architect is referring to God. So she's like, can I speak to God about how he devised, or how they devised, the things that go on in the world? How did they create this beauty? Like, was it an accident, or was it something that just, fell into place? Was it planned?
I don't know, but just plain on all. Is there anything that you regret? I don't understand why there are blueprints or plans. Can I speak to the architect?
Once again, the whole chorus is talking about, is this life planned, or is it just all up to chance? And she's like, can I speak to God? Can I speak to the architect of our lives, of our world? It's definitely a holy exploration of like spirituality and divinity here, of like Is everything in life predestined, or do we get to determine our own destiny? Definitely pondering those heavier topics here.
Could I pray it away? Am I shapeable clay? Or is this as good as it gets? One day you're on top of the mountain, so high that you'll never come down. And the wind at your back carries ember and ash that burns your whole house to the ground.
Now we've moved on from focusing on the exterior and the outside world to talking about her. She says, sometimes I look in the mirror and I wish I could make a request. Could I pray it away? Am I shapeable clay, or is this as good as it gets? She's like, again, pondering that, like, can I ask for a change? Can I ask for an update to the simulation that we are living in? And it goes, one day you're on top of the mountain, so high that you'll never come down. Then the wind at your back carries ember and ash that it burns your whole house to the ground, talking about how, you know, like, you can be at the top of the world and then plans change, the universe has different ideas, and now looks like everything's burning to the ground. It's just like pondering these big ideas of, like, you know, could I go back? Could I request a change? Could I, you know, rewrite the program that is my life? I feel like we've all kind of had that, even if you're not religious.
I thought that I was too broken, and maybe too hard to love. I was in a weird place, then I saw the right face, and the stars and the planets lined up.
In these last lyrics here, we go beyond just, you know, is there predestination, or is it all up to chance? Is it all up to us? And then she goes as far as to not just say, can I speak to the architect? Is there an architect? Is there a God? Is there a divine power around this whole thing here? I particularly love in verse 3, she said, I thought that I was too broken and maybe too hard to love. I was in a weird place and I saw the right face and the stars and the planets lined up. She's really exploring spirituality and astrology and crystals and all these very divine and spiritual things across this album that I guess maybe Deeper Well just kind of is supposed to evoke that imagery, but that definitely is a thorough line through the entire album that definitely is intriguing me. I'm saying that don't take shots anytime I say definitely. I say that word so many times every time I film a video. We saw in Ariana Grande's recent album, which I'll have that reaction up here, but she talks about her Saturn return and everything there. And then the lead single for this, she talks about her Saturn return in Deeper Well. So I definitely am curious to see if that continues on. But up next is a track that just the title alone, I'm like, what do you mean? And it's called Lonely Millionaire.
You can step off the plane into a black car. You can pay him to wait. Hey, you don't want to spend it on you. And baby, that's what it's for. I burn it all to keep you warm. Who wants to be a lonely millionaire? Coming home, ain't no one there that you can talk to.
This one was also very light on the lyrical content from what I can see here. But everything she's talking so far about is talking about who wants all the fame, the riches, you know, the rags to the riches, all this money if you're just going to be alone. It's the whole money can't buy you happiness. You can step off a plane into a black car. You can pay him to wait. You can wear the gold watch on your wrist, but it won't give you back the moments you missed. She's like, what is the point of hustling so hard to make this bag when it's like you have no one to be there? It's like you're missing all the great moments in your life. And then she's like, when I get paid, I want to spend it on you, and baby, that's what it's for. I'd burn it all to keep you warm. She's like, all that this money means to me is that I can help and uplift and protect and spend it on the ones I love. Then the whole chorus, which as far as I know, this is where most of the original or most of the new content ends, is who wants to be a lonely millionaire coming home, ain't no one there that you can talk to in your king-size bed. She's like, it's lonely up in here. You got all this space and nothing to fill it with. Then be careful what you wish for. I see it all the time. The money and the diamonds and the things that shine can't buy you true happiness. Again, that whole money can't buy you happiness. And then
George Ford, I see it all the time. The money and the diamonds and the things that shine can't buy you true happiness.
she's really exploring these very deep topics of life. She's talking about, she's explored spirituality. She's explored, you know, mental health. And she's talking about, in this one, she's like, money and fame and just like, you know, can happiness be bought? And then the next track is called Heaven Is. So I imagine we're going to explore spirituality a little more on this one. We've really only got a couple of short tracks left. For the most part, most of the tracks on this album were decently short.
We spend all day where the north wind blows, and you bought me a lavender rose, put it in water when we got home. That's
It looks like this is going to be a repetition of verses. Again, this one, just like Dinner with Friends, is essentially exploring the little things are make what love is. It's like in Dinner with Friends, she's talking about, the feeling is, it's all these little things that make up this feeling of love. And in this one, she's talking about, it's all these little things that make up the feeling of heaven, this feeling of happiness. And she's particularly referring to her partner with, wearing your short shirt so tattered and torn, wide in your arms so safe and warm. And then it's like, we spent all day where the north wind blows, and you bought me a lavender rose. So I imagine we're going to get most of this kind of repetition here, it looks like, in the lyricism. But again, it's kind of exploring the same topic that Dinner with Friends has already explored on this album.
Nobody knows where we go when we die. Maybe we'll ride white horses in the sky. And if we don't, then darling, tonight, that's what heaven is.
This song really is summing up the topics we're talking about on this album. She has the topics of money and fame and life and death and like happiness and loneliness and just like the duality of these things in the relationship, in relation to the context of life and like relationships. This one was very beautiful and like just sonically scratched an itch in my brain that I loved. Why was I getting like Hunger Games, Safe and Sound, Taylor Swift in terms of the sonics there? But up next is a slightly longer track called Anime Eyes. What are the anime eyes telling us? Like, what are they? Let's see.
The moon is hanging over us, the wind is in the trees. We've got nowhere to be, do we, baby? When I look at you, I'm always looking through anime eyes. A million little stars bursting into hearts in my anime eyes.
So basically, it's another love song. She's like, when I look at you, I'm always looking through anime eyes, a million little stars bursting into hearts in my eyes. She's like, I got the heart eyes, I got the big, bold, like, you look good, I love you, we're in love sort of eyes. And it just looks like it's going to be another sweet little love song on this album.
Ridiculous, hazy, crazy, rainbow explosions of ecstasy. Oh my god, the memories, happy tears overflowing, lightning bolts so overwhelming, ugly crying, now I'm melting, turning into flowers blooming, angels singing, bells are ringing, baby, I'm in love, tsunami washing over both our bodies. Sailor moon's got nothing on me.
What on earth was that bridge, girl? I love a ranty bridge. I love a bridge that builds. And oh my goodness. Ridiculous, hazy, crazy rainbow explosions of ecstasy. Oh my god, the memories. Happy tears overflowing, lightning bolts so overwhelming, ugly crying, now I'm melting, turning into flowers blooming. Angels singing, bells are ringing, baby, I'm in love. Baby, I'm a love tsunami washing over both our bodies. Sailor Moon's got nothing on me. She's continuing those anime references with Miyazaki in the second verse and then Sailor Moon in the bridge. I don't know, sonically, beautiful. I don't get all the anime references. I'm very sorry, even though I'm probably wearing a shirt that's very anime-esque. Sorry. Yeah. That bridge, she really flipped the switch for me. I need to listen to this again to see where she falls in my ranking. But before we do that, we need to get into the last track on the album, Nothing to Be Scared Of. And she is a short track, so let's see if we summarize everything this album has been telling us so far.
Living on the west side end, I think about you often, worrying that I might drive the nail into the coffin. Bubble wrap around your heart like someone's gonna break it. Demons in your mirror, together we'll escape them.
This is once again exploring anxiety in a relationship. Living on the west side and I think about you often, worrying that I might drive the nail in the coffin. She's really exploring the whole beginning and endings of like, am I the problem in the relationship? Will I be the problem in the relationship? Then she goes, I've got my own patterns, maybe I can stop them. Then verse 2, she says, holding tight to who you are like someone's going to take it. Bubble wrap around your heart like someone's going to break it. Demons in your mirror, together we'll escape them. She's talking not only about herself in the first verse, but in verse 2, she's talking about the demons that her partner carries and the anxieties that they carry and how I imagine the whole point of the song is going to be like, we have nothing to be scared of. Like, we aren't going to run away from each other. We aren't going to destroy each other. We aren't going to be the end or the beginning of all these problems for each other. So I'm curious to see where the chorus takes us.
And drop your bags, and I'll help you unpack them. You're the only one I want to give my love. There's nothing to be scared of. Come to you and drop my bags, and you'll help me unpack them. You say I'm the only one you want to
right, so it did kind of go where I thought it would be. There's nothing to be scared of. But she says in the original chorus, come to me and drop your bags and I'll help you unpack them. And then she flips to said, I'll come to you and drop my bags and you'll help me unpack them. And all of this is in reference to verse 3, where it says, I made a list of everything that I've been busy chasing, but if a train is meant for me, it won't leave the station and pull away. She's like, I'm at my destination. I'm not looking to move on from this happiness that I'm in. She's like, I'm not looking for the next big thing. I'm not chasing any money or fame. I'm not like looking beyond my anxieties to see what the next paranoia is going to be. I'm right here and we have each other. So there's nothing to be scared of in this relationship anymore. I think that definitely helped round off the album. So I guess now all that's left for me to do is rank it. Alright, so it's probably been a few days and I have listened to this album a few more times. So this is my tentative ranking for right now. I'm trying to think of what would be at the top of my list. I know Heaven Is was just so beautifully, sonically that, love the sound of that one. And then in terms of other ones, I think I just need to go through and listen to. I liked Cardinal. I enjoyed Sway. What? I have to pull the track list back up for me to decide. But here's my tentative final ranking of the album. I'm sure it will change over time. Let me know what you thought of the album. What was your favorite track? And what would you like me to react to next?